Okay, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated position. And just, just check in with yourself in the same way that you might check in with a friend after a long day at work. You just ask yourself, how are you going? How are you doing? Maybe offer the same friendship towards yourself that you might offer towards a dear friend of yours. So, offer yourself the same concern, the same love. So just feel the feet on the floor. You can just imagine your soles of your feet connecting with the ground. Knees are hips width apart, sitting on top of your sits bones, shoulders aligned with the hips, and just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Now just bring your awareness to your breath and notice the air as it flows in and out of the nostrils. And just bring your mind to the crown and just relax and release any tension in your scalp. Relax the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the head, the jaw, the temple. And just allow some softness to come into your face. Relax the back of the neck and your shoulders. Allow the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and all of your limbs. Notice if there are sounds in your environment and just allow those sounds to be there. And try not to follow with the mind. And then notice the thoughts as they're arising. What's actually going on today? Is it the same stories as yesterday? And just allow the thoughts to arise so you can examine them objectively without judgment, without questioning, oh God, why am I thinking this way? Just observe it more with curiosity rather than judgment. in myself, I noticed a pattern of thoughts that I had been aware of in my 30s that doesn't really serve me. I was quite surprised to notice it there. And I thought, oh, well, still some work to be done here. It just takes time. So just place yourself on the bank of the river and notice the quality of the water. And then just while you're sitting on that bank, just realize that while you're sitting there, you're dry, you're free from the river. And bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your friends, all your people you don't like so much, and then your strangers, remembering they can all change place at any time. And remember, they're all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. Create negativity with our mind so we can create positivity with our mind. We can dedicate the work that we're doing, the practice that we're doing this evening, to all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we start, as usual, with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of future suffering that we ourselves will experience, and we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically it makes sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And we turn to the Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor rather than a higher power. So it's really important to remember, particularly in this lineage, which is the one I know, is that we're not looking at all these kind of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and our teachers as gods. We're not asking for forgiveness here. We're not looking for a higher power to sort of take it all away. We're doing the work ourselves, but we do need guidance and support and love and compassion. So this is what we're looking for here, is a method to be able to heal ourselves. And in this particular meditation, the healing is in the form of purification. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and he's your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. Has a beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and particularly have compassion for them, a wish for them to be free from suffering, because this suffering is just going to come back on them sometime down the track. So we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is the purification of your speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you just imagine all the gossip, and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahompe Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And this includes yourself. And this also includes what you are putting on social media, what you are writing in emails. And next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on that switch. The darkness is instantly dispelled by the light. So same here, the moment the light hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness, anger, bitterness, depression, anxiety, resentment, grudges, jealousies, all instantly dispelled. Not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, imagine these are completely purified. And now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next, the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And imagine light and nectar pouring into you and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now the power of resolve, the fourth and final step in the purification process, and quite crucial. Sort of it maps on to this idea of regret. Regret indicates you kind of are sorry you did something and you maybe intend to do something about it. So here is where we make a promise to ourselves that we're going to try and change some things so that we don't harm ourselves and others with our body and our speech and our mind. So maybe, first of all, don't forget to rejoice in your own efforts. Because sometimes doing this practice might be an excuse for people to come down on themselves even more. So try not to do that. Try to just rejoice in the effort that you're making. And the purpose of doing this is to be of benefit to ourselves and others. And imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into light, white light, and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. It's all kind of merged into one. So a little bit on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a while, and you can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening to all living beings, all those people of your life, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so then think, for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, if I could have all my people back. There we go. Hi, everyone. Just dedicate for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and dedicate for the long lives of all your own individual teachers. Some recognize, some not. Doesn't matter. Dedicate for their long life, even if they've only taught you one syllable that's benefited your mind. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Sleep well. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you all tomorrow night, hopefully.